널 기다렸어.
We're in here, man, at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
There were a bunch of Passion fans that were here, for sure. And they're slowly pouring in.
Yeah, it's now 3:30 or 3:25 to be exactly precise.
Yeah, and it's a Thursday, or rather, yeah, it's a Thursday too. So it's, you know, people are working, people got stuff to do, but they're still coming down.
Oh, have no fear. When work and overtime is long over, we will still be here.
If you want to come down at 11 p.m., we'll be here.
Yeah.
Casting all night.
That's right. Don't quote us on that. We could have like 17 all-ins in a row and finish by like 7:30, but probably not.
If we have a lot of games like that last one, we could. It's a possibility. Lots of StarCraft just coming back up again. You know, we after Pro League ended, Star League was in its interim. Also, GSL was, you know, off for a bit while they got ready to go into Code A. And now it's all starting up again. Like, there was maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks where it was kind of like a lull. But now it's like right back on the ball. So tell all your friends to start watching the StarCraft. We're going to have it pretty much every day, I think. It's going to be...
Yeah, well, we have...
maybe not Monday, Tuesday.
GSL and Star League, and then GSL again on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Pro League schedule is still actually to be determined. Yeah. I know it was posted earlier. I'm not allowed to talk about it, but it may be changed. I'm just letting you guys know that much.
That is true.
People are already there's already rumors about it and stuff. That's all I can say. It'll be confirmed soon. All right, well, Bomber gets another shot here, playing 2 games back-to-back. His only win is an away win, but Cure is now 3-2. He's leading the pack. TY in second place. And that was a really unfortunate loss. It's one of those losses that really like kind of gets to you. At least it would for me.
Yeah, I mean, he just got demolished in every way. Nothing that he was going for or planning went right. Everything went wrong, right? So not going to be very confident after a game like that, that's for sure.
All right, this is going to be Hush's third back-to-back PVT. He's 1-1 in the matchup today. And now he has to play against Bomber. I'd say probably the easiest of the 3 Terrans to face. He'll have to face all 3 of them twice, but this is his final PVT of the first round robin. And I actually think he can do this, especially because Bomber just comes off of that tough loss. And what map are we on? Let's see.
King Sejong Station.
Okay, so not Dust Towers, but...
Yeah. But, you know, pretty defensive map as well. We are going to jump right into that. This is Bomber's map choice. Let's jump into King Sejong Station. Here we are on King Sejong Station. Once again, this map still survives. Up in the top left, it is Bomber in the red, the Terran player.
And his opponent at the bottom right is Hush, Sejantis. I'm looking at a lot of these Bomber games, and it's funny, a lot of players have chosen these newer ladder maps against him, but he's also chosen them versus many players as well. Like most of the quote-unquote weird maps we're going to be seeing today are actually in his matchups. And in fact, Hush actually, when Hush faces him later on, he's going to be playing on Ruins of Indion. Huh. So it's kind of funny how this works out. Like, Hush is really playing different, he's playing different maps for different opponents, different Terran players. And you would think, because normally what happens in this kind of situation is players tend to just choose one map for a matchup.
Yeah.
And that's not what's really happening today. We're seeing players choose maps for the players. And that means that we're at this point in StarCraft 2 where people are just like so smart and there's so much information that people know how to abuse certain players' playstyles even, like down to the wire.
Especially someone like Bomber, you were talking about it before, probably not the most ladder-playing player. So, want to go for those new ladder maps that perhaps someone like Hush is practicing a lot. As the practice bourgeois of Sejantis, he does need to be ready for all the maps.
Yeah, I mean, everyone plays on the ladder, like everybody does, but some teams do more in-house practice than others. And I can't speak for Afrika specifically, but if you have a player like Speed, for example, or everyone in this group is Kespa, so there's no examples from this group specifically, but say Scarlet or No Regret makes it through the qualifiers, which they both nearly did, and they're in this group. It's like, okay, probably don't want to pick a ladder map versus them because majority of their practice is ladder because they don't actually live in a team house, they live in a Kespa house. And yeah, they can do custom games with players, but most of their practice is going to be on the ladder. So maybe Hush and other players expecting that Bomber will not be playing a lot of ladder games.
Yeah, perhaps. Also, if you pick one map for one matchup that you're always going to be picking on home, by the end of the day, people are going to know your style on that map. But then again, maybe you could prepare like 3 or 4 different styles or builds on the map too. So,
and you can change the way
there's a lot of strategy, you know?
Yeah, you can change the way you play versus an opponent after watching his games or even playing against him in the first match when you go into the second round robin. Or you can see how Bomber's playing and go, oh, okay, Bomber played like this versus Trap, for example, so let me change my build. But all the maps were chosen...
Oh. Sorry.
Dodged it. All the maps were chosen blind. It was blind pick maps before the match even started. I think it might have even been chosen yesterday. And just kind of emailed to Spoke TV and Kespa just to kind of settle everything out. So we can't like change your map based on the playstyle you saw today. All right, we're going to see, again, a more aggressive opening here from Hush with the Robo into the 4-gate. He has a probe also to the top of the map.
Looks like it should be 4-gate Warp Prism. He might add a couple more gates, make it a 6-gate once again, and perhaps even add an Immortal and try to do that like who is it? It was Trap in the first game against Cure, who did that away cheese on Dusk Towers by proxying the Robo.
Well, this away cheese man is looking like it's just going to be straight 4 gates because he's not making any more probes. So you can only afford really 4 gates worth of production on 25 probes. The Mothership Core is back at home just in case something like this happens. But once that Prism is out, he's going to send it across the map, and this is a very dangerous form of aggression. I mean, it's basically a New Age 4-gate for those who have been watching since the beginning of time.
Oh, that slips by all the Stalkers in the middle of the map. And even the Warp Prism. This is going to get in.
There's not very many probes to kill, though. As I mentioned before, only 25. It's going to stop some of his saturation. It is painful. But the more important story for now is that Bomber doesn't have those units at home to defend. Look at this, targeting the Marines. Okay, at least he was initially. Now just kiting against the SCVs. Look at all these Stalkers. But Liberator's about to pop out.
He's getting a lot of kills already, but the more important thing is that Bomber survives long enough for that bunker to get up.
I think he needs to elevate the Stalkers in the main. Okay, that's exactly what he's going to do. And this is so much easier to do in Legacy of the Void. Now he needs to actually start microing back. Okay, there's the second elevator. Liberator is out. Needs to get out of that Liberation Zone. He's taking so much damage. I don't know if this is actually going to work. I don't think it is.
He's microing back with the Warp Prism, and he will have another Warp in just a bit. Let's see how much damage he can get done here. 14 SCVs have gone down. He's just going to pick up and go back. He's done a bit of damage, but he's lost a lot at the same time.
Well, he's evened up the worker count. He just needs to make this insanely valuable, and he lost a lot of warp-in time, so he has money. He can actually make several more warp-ins. He's even going to make an Immortal. He's going basically super all-in. And the Warp Prism, this is the kind of build that I do on the ladder, like, because the Warp Prism
Except it's got a Void Ray too.
Yeah.
It has to have a Void Ray.
But I love this elevator type of playstyle. It got so much stronger in Legacy of the Void. And I was wondering if we're going to start to see more stuff like this on these 2-player maps. And yeah, it's only 4 Stalkers, but like, he's really hard-pressed to kill him with the fact that the Warp Prism can avoid the Liberator, then do that long-range pickup.
Yeah, and then he easily picks him up, drops him back down. Liberator can't chase.
And he's going to send this Immortal across the map, and the Observer's going to come to help deal with the Widow Mines. And basically what he's trying to do with these Stalkers is pick Marines off so that the defense is weaker, and then he can shade into the main base and just win a big fight. There's only 1 Marine in that bunker. He doesn't know that. He's not going to commit. All right, look at the Stalker still finding more damage. This is awesome play. This is what I like to see. Yeah,
he's picking them apart very, very slowly, and he's continuously making units with his Warp Gates and the Immortals that are coming out very, very slowly too. Gonna add in an Observer, just send that all the way across the map. He's not even mining from his natural here, kind of a wasted Nexus.
He doesn't need to, basically. He just needs to end the game from picking this off. Now, the longer this goes on, the better position for Bomber, because like you said, he's not mining from that Nexus. All right, here we go. He might commit to this time. Oh, he gets up the ramp. He's actually definitely going to commit, and there's the Immortal. The barrier is popped. Perfect timing to actually fight those Marines.
Oh, and he's going to drop it down there to fight against the tank, too, which he picks off before the lift.
Oh, man, and the Liberator's actually getting targeted here. He can actually avoid that Liberation Zone with some good micro here. Down it goes. And this is looking very, very good for Hush right now. The Observer comes over, and the Warp Prism still lives for now. He needs that to survive. Marine's going to target it. 14 health. 2 health.
He lets it live.
Oh, but he stops microing it.
Oh, man.
This is still a scary push. There's a lot of units here. Another Warp Prism is being queued. Not the best targeting there. The Observer goes down as well, and I think that's actually it.
It was so close, and had he kept that Warp Prism alive, perhaps, but GG. Bomber takes the win on his map. Very, very important for him. He needs that to stay alive in this group.
Oh, the away cheese is strong, man. I'm starting to really like it. Starting to really feel it. That was like a build out of like the Wolf Book of builds. I'm like, did you know that if you actually have 4 Stalkers, you can kill Infinity Marines if you micro correctly? That's the kind of stuff I do like to see a lot of the time, that creativity. Obviously, it didn't work in the end.
Yeah,
Bomber just outplayed it, but...
Hush is the guy that's going to have a million builds like that, right? He's the guy in the house that's going to teach all the different players on his team how to do different builds, even like not Protoss builds, like Terran and Zerg builds too. He knows all of those too. So he's bringing out the really weird away cheese today. So wouldn't be surprised if we see a bit more a little bit later on.
Yeah, I would not be surprised either. I'd say there's a pretty high chance of that. I mean, we got 30 games today, and he's got 10 to play. So we'll see how he does in the future. But that was our 9th game. Are we taking another break? Felt really quick, that last 3 set.
Couple of quick games, but guys, we are going to go to a quick 5-minute break. We'll be right back.